Okay, good. So, good morning to Miss Lady and my fellow friends. So today I'll be here to present my part of critical review. Right, so as you guys know, my name is Prasan Pillai. Moving on. So the presentation will be based on the article that's called Are We There? Progress in Depicting Diverse Images of Beauty. Beauty in Instagram based on the body positive movement. That is by Rachel Rebecca L. Lazuka and her colleagues. Okay. So before I get into other stuff, let's talk about what's body positivity. So first up, we have acceptance and appreciation. So basically, the movement allows individuals to accept and appreciate diverse body sizes, shapes, appearance, whatever is in your body, it's all accepted. Alright, then moving on, we have embracing diversity. The movement celebrates the diversity of the human body, whereby it accepts, it doesn't have any rules. It accepts, and this movement basically goes against the notions of having the notions of idealistic body shapes or sizes. Then moving on, thirdly, we have health. Health is an important factor for everybody. So whether it's their size or whatever they do in a daily basis, health is important. So for those who go against this, for those who think that for those who take body positivity the correct way, they are at least able to look after their overall well-being in terms of physical, mental, and emotional health, because those can also affect your body. Then we have challenging beauty standards. So the movement challenges unrealistic and harmful notion that certain body types are superior. Like for example, having thin body, having muscular body is not necessary in the body positivity movement. Then lastly, we have advocacy and inclusivity. The movement itself is a self-acceptance movement, and it goes beyond to create a more inclusive society. It advocates for equal treatment, respect, and representation of all body sizes and shapes and appearances and whatnot. And moving on to our next slide, that will be summary. So for the summary that I have concluded from this study is that so for the first point, we can see the article explores the progress made in representing diverse images of beauty within the body positivity movement on Instagram. It also acknowledges that traditional media and social media plays a role in influencing body shapes, but social media creates a more democratic approach to creating content based on body positivity and all that. Then secondly, we have highlights that has been an increase in the representation of diverse body types, but they are still persistent on certain idealized features. Like for example, the body positivity, the movement basically, the study doesn't have has limited range of like body types, limited range of ethnicities and abilities on the overall human body. There is a persistent emphasis on certain idealized features like I mentioned earlier, having thin body, having extremely thinness shapes, and basically becoming a skeleton. That's one way of seeing. And then we have the article acknowledges the positive impact of body positive influencers who use Instagram as a platform to promote self-acceptance. But at the same time, it creates concerns where they can use the movement, they can misuse the movement to promote other things such as using weight loss, and also maybe promote food that helps you reduce your weight, which is not what we want to see here in terms of body positivity movement. Alright, then moving on, we have the study has taken 246 body posts from the broader body positivity Instagram community, which showed there's an inclusion and appreciation of diverse physical appearance and themes consistent with promoting the movement. However, there were still some posts contain contradictory messages that promoted, as I said earlier, weight loss or extreme thinness. Moving on to our next slide. Okay, so what are the significance of this article? So, okay, as you can see, examining body positivity on social media. The study contributes to understanding the messages of the movement in social media, especially in Instagram, as it focuses on the promotion and acceptance of the diverse body sizes and appearance, challenging unrealistic beauty standards presented in the media. Then secondly, we have themes consistent with body positivity. So the analysis basically reveals that the content of body positivity posts on Instagram aligns with themes promoting the movement. This suggests that the messages conveyed aim to promoting self-acceptance, body confidence, and inclusivity in our community or around us. And lastly, we have identification of contradictory messages. The study is able to identify these messages on Instagram through comments or the description put through each and every post. These messages may include promotion of weight loss, as mentioned earlier, and praise of extreme thinness, which basically goes against our core principle, that's body positivity. And then moving next slide would be okay. So now this part will be based on my critique of the study. So we have two sides, one is strength, one is weakness. So for strength, we have use of social media as data source, using content analysis approach, and highlighting contradictory messages. So just keep in mind these points, yeah. And then for weaknesses, there will be limited generalizability, small sample size, and lack of diversity in themes. Alright. So we will start with the first one, that would be strengths in my critique. So strength basically is to see how it helps everybody in general. So for this, number one, as I mentioned earlier, that is use of social media as data source. Social media such as Instagram has approximately 2 billion active users every single day. So did a study by someone, but yeah. So using social media, you can actually capture real-time content, as every single day people are posting a lot of things based on this movement, and we can understand and recognize how the movement is basically evolving through through Instagram as a platform for influencers or general people to post themselves in. Alright, then second one is the content analysis approach. So the study the approach is very robust. It's a very robust method, as it is it examines and evaluates the meaning of the whole movement, the themes that are used in the movement, and effects of the communication, such as the comments in the post in social media. Then lastly, we have we can also derive meaningful insights from such posts, and we can create data from that, and it also provides a foundation of understanding for this movement. Then we have our third one, that would be highlighting contradicting messages. With all the themes, the filters, and the coding, with all the themes and the filters added into the coding, these we are able to identify such contradictory messages that does not go along with our movement, right? And definitely for this, there is a definite need of further research. There's no way you can continue with what we have. Otherwise, I can say it's limited. Right. And moving on, lastly, there would be a weakness for based on the critic. So the study relies on only on Instagram. So when you rely on Instagram, it's only one platform, sole platform, that is not enough. Whereas, and also Instagram doesn't represent other platforms, as other platforms has their own settings, their own codings and whatnot. And one of Facebook and Twitter are also one of the most used applications in today's world lah. Then moving on, second one would be the sample size is just too small. Sample size using 246 posts is not enough to even which undermines the reliability and validity of the whole study, and larger size sample is very much needed for this. Then lastly, we have a lack of diversity in teams. Although yes, there is a lot of teams involved in this study, but there are no teams related to like those disabled people or LGBTQ people communities and so on. And lastly, moving on to our last slide, that will be my conclusion. So, the rise of social media, particularly Instagram, has assisted the body positive movement by creating online communities that challenge traditional beauty standards and promote inclusivity. However, there are limitations to the studies and use of Instagram as a sole platform and the lack of diversity in teams and representation. Further research on other social media platforms based on movement is very well needed. And that's all from me. Thank you. Any questions? I'm open up for a Q&A session.
Do you think the movement will cause a negative impact on society in the future?
Okay. Negative impact on the society,
Correct, in the future.
in the future. Okay, in the future, pretty much right now, people are opening up their minds to accept multiple things. So I don't think this would give a negative impact on the future generations unless they are brought up with a mindset of saying a particular beauty is what is accepted.
Very well said.
Welcome. Yes.
Question. Do you think that this body positivity movement is progressing?
It's not progressive. It will not progress until the mindset of having the mindset, basically mindset is always just your mindset lah. Is if your mindset doesn't change, or your your own mindset doesn't change, nothing can change. Nothing around you can change. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? Any questions?
What do you like and dislike about this article?
Okay. I like is that they allow their readers to understand what's the movement about. They allow the readers to understand like what's going on in our current today's world, what type of social media, what's the statistics, and what's the data like, and what's the data like that we can get from such studies. And what I dislike is the lack of the limited usage of social media for this study. It's not enough if you want to give a proper understanding to the public. Right? And that's all for me. Thank you.